Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. In this occasion, I'm gonna tell you we are gonna talk about this is like a second part of my first video talking about the sexualization of Ariana Grande. But in this part, we are gonna touch more in specifically the denounces of the audience, the producers, the people behind the scenes. Okay, and also some comments about a few actors that work with Dan Schneider, this super polemic producer who apparently did even more than just sexualizing Ariana Grande and some other actors, or making weird videos, or making them act or tape uncomfortable scenes in these shows. But first of all, I want to tell you about mm, first of all, I want to tell you that I'm really heartbroken about what I have saw in this documentary, because as child this was my favorite TV channel. They have amazing programs like such as Clarissa Explains It All, the Legends of the Clarissa Explains It All was one of my favorites. In fact, it was very funny to watch and it brings me very good memories. It was my favorite even more than Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which was made also by Nickelodeon. Yes, it was my super favorite channel. They also have a which other? Let me remember. But they have pretty great TV programs. Oh, Ken and Nickel. It was amazing too. Very very funny. I used to watch it with my brother, who is almost my age. He's 1 year, or I think 2 years older. So Ken and Nickel. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think it was even more my favorite over Sabrina Explains It All. The Legends of the Hidden Temple. I think I mentioned it already, but oh my god, it was super fun, very interesting, very great. I think the statue that is in the show, the parlant, the speaker statue, is like an Olmec. In fact, his name was Olmec, like Olmeca in Spanish, and it's basically like a head of an Olmeca. This used to be pre-Hispanic ancestors in the Mexican culture. So yeah, this was one of the main characters of this program called Legends of the Hidden Temple. Okay, but back to the topic. I'm disappointed. I'm heartbroken. I used to saw even more channels like Cartoon Network, like Boomerang. Also, I think Boomerang came after. It's new. It's more new than Nickelodeon. I used to watch also Disney Channel too. But I will say that the most direct competence against Nickelodeon was Cartoon Network, I think. And well, no, I think both Disney Channel and Cartoon Network. So anyways, I'm disappointed about this TV network because apparently the company allowed this man being too abusive with the people that was working for him, starting for the two guionists that were two young women, where both were hired by him. But starting from the very beginning, please don't forget subscribing, giving your thumbs up, and sharing it with your friends or in your social network, whatever you want to. And please don't forget your thumbs up, okay? The documentary starts with an actress called Katrina Johnson, and she was a 9 years old girl, and she was asked to say in front of the camera that she was super flat, that she was disgusting because she has no boobs. She was like, I'm super flat. I would try to see if I can put the video somewhere here. And also, I mean, I consider it's not like a normal thing that a girl of this age should say in a casting, you know what I mean? Because obviously, at this age, it's normal that you be flat, you don't have boobs. So this was one of the very beginnings of these decades, or of these horrible years in Nickelodeon productions. And after, a black guy called an actor called Leon Frierson. He was known as Nose Boy in the All That show, and he mentioned that he was very uncomfortable with the costume he had to wear. It was a costume with two noses in the shoulders and a prosthetic nose on his face. So he says that it was hard for him, playing his role wearing this costume, because he, even at his very young age, he was also around 9. Even at that young age, he could realize that it was an awkward costume and that the noses looked like penis. And also, they used to make him, when every time he sneezed, a white substance came out of his nose, and it wasn't even white; it was transparent. But they could dissimulate that it wasn't the masculine organ by making the booger green. They could have made it green for it to don't seem to was, that thing. He also commented that there is a program of challenge, kind of like Fear Factor. They used to make a lot of, in these decades, a lot of shows that were similar to Fear Factor, but for kids, And in one occasion, he had to allow that they cover all his body with peanut butter and let him dogs lick his skin with this peanut butter. And I saw the scenes, and in fact, he looks really nervous and uncomfortable. And he mentioned that this challenge. So he says that uh, he felt this idea came from somebody's fantasy, or from the mind of somebody's fantasy or fetish. He says so in the interview of this documentary of Why on Set. And in the same interview for this documentary, he also mentioned that uh, uh, in some, filmings, done as the makeup artist to put some talcum powder on his face to make him a little bit whiter. But he wasn't very obvious with this comment. He used the makeup artist relies on how uncomfortable the guy was, and he just, like, comfort him, telling him, don't pay attention to him, just ignore him. He didn't mean it, probably he didn't mean it, and whatever, let's keep going. So obviously he didn't oppose, and I suppose many of these actors didn't oppose to what they have to do, what they were supposed to do, to don't be the bad vibe guy or their, to don't be the problem, the troublemaker or the complainer, But with the guionists that were hired, they were two young ladies that were in tremendously need of getting a job, and Dan hired them, but they were paid half of their salary. The salary that was supposed to be for each guionist, he split it between both girls, and they took it anyways. They took the job because they were in need. There is when the other bad things start. The abuse of him with them. He was kind of maleness and misogyny. One of the few things, well, no, not of the few. One of the many things he did to them was make a bet with her. She offered her $300 in exchange of she eating 2 pots of ice cream, but big pots. We're talking about huge pots, and in order to get $300, right? So she did it, and at the end, he didn't pay her. And after, with the pass of the months, she got fired. The same girl of the ice cream, because she go out partying with friends, and the next day, this was Saturday, the next day, Sunday, she invited them to spend the evening with them in her apartment, and she got fired just because of this. So she wasn't supposed to work. She wasn't supposed to go out, not even in her days off. She was supposed to be, for him, from Monday to Sunday, just working, writing scripts, and what else? Yeah, just spending on whatever he wanted. Oh my God, this was totally abusive, horrible. Apparently, they wasn't supposed to have a life, like a personal life of going out, having fun and stuff. So she got fired. Then after, the only lady that stayed with him saw that he hired more men employees, and they did got their salary full. She told that once her partner was fired, she was gonna get the full payment, her full salary, but she didn't. She's still getting paid half. Well, she decided calling the main directors of the company, make an anonymous complaint about she not getting paid her full salary, which immediately almost after she finished her phone call, he called her to asking her if she was the one that called the directors, the main bosses, to make the denounce or the complaint about one of the guionists wasn't getting her full payment, right? She denied, but Dan suspect it was obviously herself who did the call and made him in trouble. So she's still working for him, and as a punishment, he pretend her to keep working for him without any payment for the next couple months. And also, in one of the reunions he has with the new staff members that were mostly men, she wasn't taken to that reunion. She had to be outside, and when they finally finished the reunion, he asked her in front of the other guys that if she wasn't a phone call caller or phone call maker, and she says, no, I wasn't, I didn't did that job. And he said, yes, you were. And she left and she quit the job. So yeah, she quit. And in the Nickelodeon staff members, there was also another sexual predator that was an extra seeker. He used to be an extra seeker for for the programs, all the shows. And in one occasion, he Little Brandy, she was 11 years old. 11 years old. I think she was 9 by the time he met her and she contracted her and she hired her. She asked her to exchange emails to to keep a friendship, and everything seems to go well at the beginning. The mom of the girl used to review the emails they exchanged, but at some point she stopped reviewing those emails and she started getting some confidence with this man. His name was Jason Handy, by the way. Till someday, Brandy ran to her mother crying and telling her what she saw in one of these men emails. And he was basically, it was a picture of his member, mm, you know, erected. And the poor girl was crying, right? So this woman didn't did anything because she was so scared about the position of this man. So basically what she did, stopped taking her daughter discussed. She didn't did anything really about, she was afraid of accusing him, right? After he were found guilty of the strange pictures of little boys and girls, and also I think, and they also found, authorities, a book where he used to write his fantasies. Oh my god, this was sick, really, really sick. And the way the police contact Brandy's mother was because they found a bag with panties of this girl. So I suppose in the panties there were the names. They were written the names of the girl. They could reach the mother. So obviously when they contact her, she speak out and she say that that she was constantly harassed by this man, and they finally break the contact and she took out the girl the Nickelodeon sets when this situation happened, right? When this situation happened, there were a couple more predators, in this TV network. I'm gonna put their pictures and name here, but honestly, I just don't want to research more because it makes me sick, reading this kind of information. I don't even want to watch the documentary neither because it's very heartbreaking. Already what I saw already is just like, wow, you can't believe how many people have suffered as long as you could watch these shows, right? Drake Bell was abused by his yellow acting coach, Ryan Peake, who was also known in the company as Pickle Man. He used to show up in some shows occasionally with a tray filled of pickles, and he used to, feed the guys or give them the pickles for they to bite it. Behind the camera, behind scenes sometimes, and sometimes in the scenes, he used to show up with the pickles to give the guys for they to buy them, and he also used to pass them through a door which was named. This has a kind of secret name, but he used to pass the pickle through the door for they to buy them there too, which obviously make reference to sexual acts. And I don't know. I think it's just not fine. I mean, it's fine if you do these things, in shows for adults, whatever, but why with kids? It doesn't make sense. So this is also one of the reasons why I'm looking for making a live or making an extra income from YouTube, because I pretend to care to have more time off for carrying my daughter myself. Obviously taking her to schools with cameras, where I can be watching kindergarten with cameras, not being too immersed or too absorbed in a regular super stressful job, in order to be in charge of her enough, or be caring of her enough, and have a good communication with her for she to tell me if anything that could happen, or I mean first that no, but to tell me, I don't know, about any strange behavior around her, with other people, because you never know. I mean, you might be either you be a very, very good person, you might be a very normal person, but that doesn't mean that there is no people that be clean, or have a clean mind, or like be normal people. So of course I think about it a lot, and for me it's just sick. For me it's just sick, honestly. For me it's just sick because, for example, once I was with an 18 years old guy, like sexually, and at the beginning I thought it was like fun, but I don't know, when I was with him I feel like I don't know, disgusted, because I saw his so like still in development, that's how I saw it, still in development, like still like a kind of teenager, let's say. So obviously I feel even like a little bit, I kind of felt a little bit like, how would you call it, like disgusted. Yeah, I thought there was another word in English that I could use for expressing this feeling, but I was disgusted because, I mean, at the end of the day we did it, but I was like, Okay. Yeah, so honestly for me it's like it makes no sense that you mess up with guys this age, you know, it's just like sick. Normal people, like the case of Jason Handy, he used to exchange, and also the man, this horrible man, um, Brian Peak, he used to exchange pictures with some people, creepy people with these days, with this attraction for kids. They used to exchange this content between each other, or or have these conversations. So obviously this was the paradise for, this TV network. Regular people, like us, don't talk about these things. We don't exchange pictures of kids between each other for any reason, unless we be relatives, and for like family relationships, like familiar relationships. And I don't know, it's unthinkable, it's just creepy and weird for me. Yeah, but the case of Drake Bell is kind of longer, it's kind of too long, it's kind of more delicate, so I will prefer to make another different video for, talk about Drake Bell abuse on Nickelodeon. So this is it for this video. I hope you have liked it. You share it, please, wherever you want to, in any social network that you want to. Give me your thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know if you know more information about this. What do you think? I have pretty more information about the situation between. Did you ever imagine this? I also remember I saw this man, Jason Handy, behind the scenes, in some cuts or some special documentaries of making of this show. Yeah, I kind of saw him in one time. So let me know what you think. I hope you have liked it. Please subscribe, and I send you kisses and a big hug.